Hello everyone, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be looking at 7 tips you likely didn't know about Beyond All Reason. The last tip is pretty insane, so make sure you stay to the end. Now let's get into it. First up, we got the T1 solar panel. Now all of us know that T1 solar panels are not the most effective energy, but as our good friend Wolfen says, it is the best metal storage we have. Now, an interesting fact about the T1 solar panel is that if it gets hit, it ends up closing for 11 seconds. This means that if a run by happens and they close all of your solar panels, you'll be without energy for 11 seconds of the game. This could hinder your production and actually shut down your ability to produce units to defend. Who would have thought? They don't tell you that on the website. Next up, we have our second tip, which is the torpedo bomber. You can launch your torpedoes a little bit before the target actually is engaged. This gives you an opportunity to retreat right before the torpedoes land, and it gives you a little bit extra range before running into the anti-air. This isn't the most useful tip because you can't get that much extra range, but it can help at least a little bit in ensuring less of your ships take damage. Come on, air players, you know you want to use torpedo bombers. Come on, what's stopping you? Now that we got that over with, let's look at one of my favorite things you can do, and that is capture with the commander. Not enough people fully appreciate that the commander can capture units even while cloaked. This can actually be really effective if you want to take over a base that you have recently destroyed on the enemy's team. What's the point in killing everything if you can just walk up and capture it and then use it for your army later? This could put a factory on the front line, making you even more devastating after you have just wiped out one of their players. Alrighty, moving on to tip number 4. Now this one might be a little bit more familiar with most people, but for you newer players out there, this one's for you. Did you know that mexes do not have to be placed directly on top of the metal spots? They can be placed offset and it will not decrease the metal value that they get. This means on maps that seem like they are very separated from the commander, he can probably reach all of them if he offsets the mexes so that he can build them all, rather than walking to the direct center of each position. Tip number 5. This is one of my favorite tips and something you guys need to understand a little bit more of. This has to do with the walls and how elevation works in a way you wouldn't expect. I discovered this on a hilly map and it was very surprising and detrimental to me. It caused me to basically lose the game. Walls will block rocket shots very effectively for certain types of units. It will not block them for the light laser tower because of how tall it is, but it will block them for pop-up turrets such as the lightning or the flame turret. Also keep in mind that it won't be able to block the shots for the commander very well because of how tall he is. If he's on a decline and builds wall behind him, then he will be defended by those walls. But if he is on flat ground, they will still be able to hit him because his body is a bit taller. Walls, when it comes to elevation, are terrible because the rocket bots are easily able to shoot over the top of them due to the fact that the unit on the other side is at a higher elevation. This means that when you're using walls, you need to make sure that you are using them on a flat surface, or if you are on the decline, then you will be able to block the shots as they're trying to shoot down onto you. But if you are on the incline where they are below you, they'll be able to get a proper angle up to you and hit over the top of your walls. Many T1 units can't shoot over walls. Tip number 6, the Decoy commander. He is actually a pretty effective unit, but he does have a little bit of a higher cost. But for this cost, he has 300 build power he can bring to the front line, and he produces mines of all different sizes, which can actually help defend against the front line pretty easily. He also can support with radar and cameras, and he also cloaks. Another valuable thing about him is he can capture just like the normal commander, which you can use to your advantage because you don't have to risk him on the front line and losing the game. Now, my last tip is one of my favorite tips, but also is a little bit finicky. That is the ability for rocket bots to shoot over walls but not take damage from other rocket bots. You can build a bunch of walls either in a line or a bunch of walls separating the rocket bots, so in a grid pattern, and then you can shoot the rocket bots back and forth. The defending rocket bot will have a massive advantage with the walls being able to peek in and out of them and shooting at the enemy, while the attacking rocket bots are in a greater trouble because they have nothing really defending them. This also works with plasma bots because they can lob the shots over the top of the walls while not taking damage from things like Centurions or other rocket bots. Try this out in your games, and they are especially good with Legion rocket bots because how powerful the rocket bots are for Legion. Thank you guys for watching to the end. Definitely subscribe for more tips that will be coming up in the future, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this and that you learned something. Be sure you check out our Discord page where you can hang out with folks who love Beyond All Reason, and we're all very friendly down there, so you don't have to worry about that side of it either. You can get updates on the next video and even things that we have planned, and you can also suggest ideas for what I should make next. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the battlefield.